We should worry about what is like
This is a new experience. Usually I do the safety announcement as a courtesy at every other.
That's real confusing for us, actually.
Let's get this shit going. Where's November?
this way off.
Hey guys.
Wow, that worked seamlessly.
Okay, is everything working?
Yeah.
Can you
I hope so.
Yeah, okay. If you could do me one solid, everybody, when November's talking, just be like a little. I know I sound like an asshole here, but I can barely hear her. So if someone could turn her up a little bit, it would be.
God.
Yeah, I can manage this. Just please don't scream at me. Thank you.
What we need to do is we need to amplify women. So if you can hear me, you need to do the Occupy Wall Street people's mic thing and just like repeat everything they say row by row forwards until it gets to it.
I do like this happening.
You're sick.
That's honestly not entirely unhelpful, but I do ask you to not do it again. All right, you wanna talk about the Secret Disaster, a show we rehearsed?
Oh yeah, this is much better than the New York show. You're getting a show that we actually rehearsed. Where is the damn mouse? Oh, there it is. I had to reset time here.
And we got any jokes.
No, the football's not.
Hey, sweetie.
I did them all in the rehearsal, so now at this point I'm just like, I'm saying, yeah, so I think I'm just gonna like sit quietly. I've got games on my phone, so.
I actually have a what's the difference joke, which is a what's the difference between a PhD in mathematics and a large sheets pizza. The large sheets pizza can feed a family of 4.
I've told that joke on air. I know I have.
Are we good?
Yeah.
We good? All right.
All right. Hello, Somerville.
Hi, guys.
Do we have any representatives of the liberal establishment controlling our nation's universities here today?
That's quite a few of you. Academia is hell.
Anyway, we did the mathematician joke specifically to annoy people from MIT.
Look to your left, look to your right. I just said forward.
Hello. Welcome to, well, there's your problem. It's a podcast about engineering disasters with slides. I'm Justin Rosniak. I'm the person who's talking right now. My pronouns are he and him. Okay, go.
I'm November Kelly. I'm the person who's talking now. My pronouns are she and her. I'm so sorry that I can't be there in person given the border. Due to the fact that I'm not, I can say and will, fuck Donald Trump. Mostly, always and forever, yay Liam.
Thank you, brother.
Hi, I'm Liam McAnderson, and I'm going to introduce a crowd work segment. I have 2 Oh shit, my pronouns are he and him. I'm going to introduce a crowd work segment where I'm going to throw these 2 T-shirts left and right. Try not to kill each other. I wanted to do this now before it was the end of the show, and I was tired. Hey, Jay.
Because the last time you tried to do this in New York, there were a bunch of like...
No, they yelled at me because we had live fires.
Yes.
All right, we good? All right, we good? No one's going to ban me from my own show? All right, let's go.
All right, that's a crowd work segment. Everybody sit on your hands and be respectful.
Nothing else is free. That's the only thing you're getting for free.
I do like the idea of, please buy our merch. I am not going to tell you where it is. I'm not going to tell you anything else other than I bought a house today. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, my wife. Are you there? Oh, I love you so much.
So I bought a house. Thank you, patrons. Thank you for coming to this so that I can pay a mortgage for the next infinity billion years. I love capitalism. It fucks so hard. All right, let's do this.
So, what you see on the screen in front of you,
I don't see anything. I see people. Dude.
the screen's behind you, Liam.
Oh.
What you see on the screen that is in some orientation relative to you.
He's quite a... Yeah, but...
Yes. Okay. What you see on the screen in front of you are the ruins of several buildings and houses, and not much else. It's not supposed to look like that. Today we're going to talk about the explosion at R.B. Grover's shoe factory.
Why are you clapping for that, you monsters?
You got that Alex, like you went up to the shoe business.
And I would like to point out it's not that Grover.
No, oh yeah, no, exactly.
It's fine, it's fine. Just knock out all the support columns from the one joke that I have.
Oh, crap.
Out. Just make the joke more rigid.
All right. So first, we have to do the goddamn news.
If you were here in New York yesterday, you're gonna have seen this joke.
Did the drop come through?
No. Damn it. But, we probably should have, tested that sound check. Fine. You know what? It's fine. Just imagine that you have
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you want to make a joke that we already made yesterday? Go on, monkey dance.
Yeah, okay. So, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has decided to make a list of everyone with autism in the United States so they can be better studied somehow. And I assume eventually put into his mental health camps. And they leaked us a copy of this list, and it turned out to just be identical to everyone who bought tickets for this tour.
particularly the Somerville shows, though. That's the top of the team.
So anyway, we're all screwed.
Also, I did genuinely love his, like, the autistic people will never play baseball or any of this. I was like, have you ever seen a relief pitcher play? Guys are just in the dirt, like, I like making shapes.
Anyway, I'm going to make that joke 4 more times on this tour.
Including tomorrow.
Yeah. That saves me a lot of effort. Though, we love labor-saving devices. Anyway, that was the goddamn news.
You were supposed to make the sound effect if you play it. Thank you. Good man. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So, does everyone remember the sad story of Henry?
Yeah, I remember it better as the cask of Amontillado, but...
So here we see Henry a little bit more vertical than normal also.
We had to warn for these aspect ratios.
So Henry was lucky when he got bricked up in the tunnel. The Fat Controller let him keep his wheels. He even let him out eventually. He even eventually gave him special coal, a new firebox, eventually even a new boiler, so on and so forth, right? This is...
No. We're not accepting that. That's the logic of the abuser, you know? You don't...
This is my whole
That should be
job.
like all smiles, you know? The Fat Controller is fucking cancer.
We're gonna. I do love the idea. We're gonna bring the Fat Controller in, and I'm gonna beat him to death with sticks.
How does that work?
Controller should be paid to justice. International justice. I want to see that fucker bulging out the sides of the big perspex box in the Hague.
Well,
Right.
Henry got off pretty easily still compared to some other engines on the island.
You guys should see the size of his fonts. This is incredible. This is like 72 points. That's fonts.
Yeah, because I couldn't read the notes on the other show.
I know you. I kept trying to move the laptop closer
reading
to
the
me.
podcast live show experience.
Wow. This is the podcast live show. We've been there.
Yes. Stanley was an American engine. He was a 1012D built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1917 for the British War Department Light Railways, you know, the trench railways in World War I. And then, of course, he was sold to the Mid-Sodor Railway in 1920 as surplus, regauged to, I believe, 22 inches. He rode poorly, he derailed a lot, he thought nothing of it. These Brits were too stuck up about things like timely and safe operations, not damaging the merchandise, and not derailing, right?
You're talking about traumatized First World War veterans. That's the kind of shit that set the guys from Peaky Blinders at the Peaky Blinders.
My favorite part of live shows, because we had to pad this one out a little bit. Sorry.
What?
Is that I have an Apple Watch, like a chud, and I just like frequently, because my wife texts me like links and shit. So you don't know this, but my wife is texting me.
It doesn't work. Just remain there.
Thank you. That's good.
The live show experiences.
The live show experience has been checking my watch and acting bored as fuck.
This runs off a Discord call that breaks up a lot, and I can only sometimes hear you. And crucially, I get no audience feedback whatsoever. To my ears, is met with dead silence. I'm just going to assume everything I say has mortally offended
Everything you've done so far has hey. I don't know what to tell you. They love you and they tolerate me. I do not look. I
You
don't.
shouldn't have told them about the house, you know?
Yeah, well, you know.
Still like me, I still rent.
I'm gonna be a land. I'm kidding. I don't love the fact that I turn around and you lurking over my shoulder like Big Brother. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Roz. Now that I've derailed this, you like that?
Well, so did Stanley. That's called a segue. Yeah. Eventually, the manager became angry.
Drives inventor out of the place.
Eventually, the manager became angry. He said, "We'll make something useful of you at last." He had men take away his pannier tanks. Then they came for his running gear and his cab. Finally, they removed his wheels and piped him directly into the heating system of the locomotive shed, where he sat behind a brick wall for 30 years. They plugged this guy into the locomotive matrix, but without the simulation part.
Was the tank engine directed by David Cronenberg?
Yeah.
It's just body horror. This is terrifying. You don't do a good job at work, fine, whatever. Normally your boss isn't allowed to remove parts of you. I don't know how things are going with the Department of Labor over there,
Cronenberg's new movie, just Train. I'd watch that. You'd watch that. You've seen the thing, right? But do that. But yeah, no, go on. I was told that I have to talk louder.
Watches Snowpiercer and is most distressed by the way they're treating the train.
That's why Roz can't watch Snowpiercer, yes.
Oh, yeah. That train's very cold.
Roz, famous for liking cold.
Yeah.
Well, you talk with cold more than you talk with hot, I guess.
After a brief surge in traffic in World War II, the Mid-Sodor Railway was made redundant by the Northwestern Railway's extension to Peel-Godred and its new aluminum plant, so it closed and Stanley was sold to a mine in Casnehowen, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't speak Cedric, and I don't think anyone in this room does.
Don't be weird. Do not be weird.
If you learned
If he's one person.
If you learned a constructed language that was made entirely for the Thomas the Tank Engine series, I respect that, I guess.
You do belong here and fit in, however.
RFK Jr. has one of those.
They used them as a pumping engine, and he broke down and the mine flooded, and they shut down the mine. They put his fire out. He was abandoned in place and presumably sits there to this day.
Jesus Christ, he's like a fucking eldritch being, you know? He's sitting at the bottom of a mine filled with water, but not dead, just slumbering.
Unable to die, yes.
This house in the mind did Cthulhu awaits dreaming.
Yeah. Except Cthulhu is a tiny steam
Cthulhu is a tiny.
It's like some of the trains on the next slide, so like.
So anyway, I'd say Henry got off pretty easily compared to Stanley. But Stanley had become the subject of today's podcast. A stationary boiler.
Oh God.
This is what happens when you're a misbehaving locomotive. They take your eyes from you.
You use these for one thing, you generate steam. That steam can be used for a lot of things. You can use it for heating. You can use it for generating electricity. You can use it to power a steam engine. You can use it for steam cleaning. Like, I don't know, maybe you're washing someone out of a ball turret. You can,
Jesus.
Yeah. I reference that poem any chance I get.
Really big debate.
Yeah. You can use it.
It's like the train, right? If the vape rig isn't like attached to the person, it's much more powerful.
You can do it. You can use it for lots of other stuff, right? It's just, you know, you tap water and you add heat. You know, it's just a steam locomotive without wheels.
I don't know. I think that might be the physics there might be able to advance for this crowd. I'm not sure.
Like, you should have gone to Caltech.
Yeah, you should have gone to Caltech, dropped out formatively, and be in Series A at the startup route now. It should really make the world that much better, you know? The West Coast tour, they're gonna love us.
So, this is the R.B. Grover and Company shoe factory.
Does this say no, not that Grover again?
Notice how none of the windows match.
Yeah. So, Captain Robbins B. Grover Shoe Factory made the Emerson shoe, right? It was, quote, honest all through.
You'd be called Captain Robbins B. Grover, and they don't let you do that. It was a better world when they did.
These were all real high-quality leather, right? For a reasonable price of about $3.50 to $5. They had 33 stores around the country. By all accounts, these were pretty good shoes, right? The factory itself was located in Brockton, Massachusetts. Big shoemaking center at the time. By all accounts, this seemed like a decent place to work in 1905. Probably still not so good by today's standards.
This is great economics to be like, we're the town that makes the one thing, and all of the industry is based around this one thing, and so long as nobody ever starts making the one thing somewhere else for less, salad birds. It's all good, you know?
Oh yeah.
To be fair, Brockton, Massachusetts.
Mike's not on yet. Is it? Now is it on? Is it on? Am I just screaming into nothingness? All right. So I'm trying to do. Oh, that's so good. Trying to do crowd work a little bit because the chair's uncomfortable. So now I'm just going to be Roz's pointer, and then I'll just be. Do you want me to? Do you want to hear this?
You have to
Here, hold on.
Yeah, you yell and I'll just demo this. Behold all the windows that don't match.
Liam, do you think that's long enough?
What?
You think that's long enough?
Do you have tape?
Give me.
Yeah. We did this gag yesterday and I fucked it up.
Notice how this factory is built in.
Hold on.
He's fucking it up. This would be like,
You want to come up here and give us the good tape? No, you don't? All right then.
This is the other fascinating part of this.
Okay, he's doing it right.
Is that I also can't see.
Can you really not?
No, no. I have some kind of dim understanding from context clues that you're doing something physical comedy, right?
Yeah,
That's what it might be.
I am Schmucky the Clown, Nova.
You people keep filling these big venues and the images get so big, we're gonna need more pointers eventually.
I got this. Let's do this.
Why are you holding the pointer from the middle?
Because I'm gonna re-grip it like
a podcast?
I played football, bud.
Laser pointer?
Yes, look how tall I am now.
All right, so this factory, it's pretty safe and clean for the time. The wages were competitive. The work was union. There was even free health care for the workers and their families, relatively uncommon at the time. But of course, this is New England, so
We're not gonna. That's bourgeois fucking like distraction tactics, right? Like just because he's the nice factory owner doesn't mean that Captain Robbins T. Grover or whatever the fuck in the Hague next to the Fat Patrol.
Making a half-hearted apology for the terror.
Yeah,
We rehearsed that joke.
I think when the time comes, we'll make like a couple of excuses for the terror. You know, like practically, we'll be like, "Whoops, sorry, didn't see it," and then terror. I got like a fraction of a word there. Fans.
Use the stairs. A lot of them. I was very inspired. I was kind of helpful. $30.
All right, baby, we're gonna do this like an art seminar, like that one guy who came to our lecture at the library and got so mad at us he left.
anyway. So being as, of course, this is New England, the factory's made entirely of wood. That's fine though, it's got a fire escape. It even has a sprinkler system.
You climb out of one of the mismatched windows and you fall down all of those. I mean, is the fire escape secured into wood? Yes, but you know what? It's fine. It's more than the factory across now knows.
We'll get there.
So this is fed. This building also has a sprinkler system, which is fed by a water tower on the roof. So it's fine, right? And the fire station was 2 doors down.
You think this will help? It will not.
This was originally a 3-story building, but it was enlarged to 4 stories sometime before the events we're about to discuss took place. You know, it was like many factories at the time, it's mostly lit by sunlight because electrical light's expensive. That's why there's so many windows. This also made it very well ventilated. And at any point you could expect 300 to 400 people to work here.
So my comments about the Hague notwithstanding, this is like not a bad working situation in that you make like a quality product that like you can see being sold and you're kind of proud of. Maybe you get like natural light through, and if anything goes wrong, you just hurl yourself down the fire escape. It's all good.
Yeah. Now, another factor here is this is a factory. In a factory, you need dust control, right? They use a very standard dust control system at the time, which is that at the end of each workday, they just treated all the wooden floors with linseed oil.
Sit down, baby.
I mean, I will say this, I bet it smelled amazing. Between like new leather, like shoe polish, linseed oil, like this is a pretty like good smelling environment.
Yeah, no, it must have been just wonderful to just walk by, you know? Like the chocolate factory of its day. Except it's shoes.
I keep catching me breaking into the boot factory and licking all the boots. So.
Anyway, so, you know, big wooden building, which is mainly made of wood products soaked in petroleum products. Where have I heard this before?
The good news is that we didn't put Drake's Well in here.
Yeah.
We probably should have.
No, linseed is vegetable based.
I will kill you where you stand. Let me have my bits.
Like,
So, okay, obviously
like
these buildings.
Drake's well, but you've clumsily appended Drake's linseed well.
I go to California to make my fortune in linseed oils.
Yeah. So, anyway, how do I do this? Okay. So, because this is New England, you obviously need some heating, right? The Grover Shoe Factory relied on a central steam heat radiator system.
Okay.
I'm still not a 19th century Grover. I'm going to be thinking about that for the whole rest of the episode.
You should see his stairs.
His little like Spanish-American War newsletter that will they stand for surrender in 5 days? Yes. Will they set fire to the sugarcane plantations? No. How many Rough Rider collateral damage?
So, I would hazard a guess here, there's probably also some big steam machinery, belt-driven stuff that you can get a finger caught in and then it rips your hand off. All that
Good
fun
news,
stuff.
there's
Everyone
no
loves that
labor
stuff.
protections. This is
Yeah.
1905. Yeah, that's pretty good.
With business booming, of course, the factory expanded into the previously mentioned fourth floor and heating requirements increased. So R.B. Grover ordered a new, modern, high-quality boiler, which is not the boiler on the screen. This is just a convenient picture I found.
This does look like a boiler. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I do fuck with the spoiler in the sense that like I also feel this way in my own body a lot of the times.
So,
I have some spare shooting if you want it.
Thank you.
So anyway, they buy a new boiler. It's much larger than its old one from 1890, right? But they keep the old boiler around as a backup since, boilers need to be serviced every once in a while, right? And the chief engineer at the plant was named David Rockwell. He did not like the old boiler, and the old boiler did not like him.
You don't want to have an antagonistic relationship with a being that kind of exists in a state of being constantly tortured, Like, if you believe that it's sentient and you believe it should be on a train, then you're like, this thing is fucking quality, right?
I do like the idea of an adversarial relationship with an inanimate object, which is basically I view how Roz views his computer and how his computer views Roz. I assume about his hard drives.
I have trouble with technology sometimes. Anyway,
Yeah, I used your phone the other day. Yesterday, I think we were trying to do something. I was showing it to Jay. And I was just like, this is how he uses it. And it's your fucking high-vis keyboard that you can't turn off high contrast. And I also don't know how to turn it off high contrast.
You're just like, why does it have a rotary dial?
I like it that way.
This is what I learned to use.
Hatchets for telegraph line?
So, David Rockwell tried to avoid using the old boiler as much as possible, and when he had to use it, like when the main boiler was down for maintenance, he started warming it up over several days very slowly, kept it at an optimal water level at all times, and ensured the pressure was well below the safety limit. He did not like to try and run this thing hard.
The spoiler lived a life of luxury, frankly.
Yes.
We should all be
Yes.
so lucky.
This is like a pampered Shih Tzu boilers.
What's that around biting everybody's legs and doing like steam burns?
So, we have to talk about riveted lap joints, right?
Oh, I'll show you a riveted lap joint.
Hold on a second.
What is that? The pen. Forward. Forward.
Attaboy.
Do you not look into
You
the
gotta
latest
slide it on. It doesn't just work, you gotta slide it on. There's a slide switch that says on. See it? You see what I'm talking about? No, just point up. Thank you. Now give it a second.
Okay. Yeah. So, normally the boiler would be a lot less oblong. What you see here are riveted lap joints, right? So essentially, each segment here is a big hoop, right? These hoops overlap at each joint. thus forming a long cylinder. And then there's, end caps, which are forged a different way. Anyway, so these connections between them are done entirely with the rivets, because you're not welding stuff yet. And these are pretty good connections. They're pretty strong. There's nothing particularly wrong with them, except with the technology of 1905, you may notice there's an area you could never perceive defects in, which is the actual faces that overlap, right?
Very metaphysical to be like, there is an area here you cannot perceive.
You simply cannot inspect that part of the boiler. So the strategy here was, it's probably fine.
just run it based on vibes, be nice to it, hope that it's like years of lingering trauma don't come out in the form of violence.
Yeah, so sometimes, you gotta do what you can. Now, after 1905, in fact, very soon after 1905, you could inspect this using x-rays, but
Okay. No, just start on the
This-
ground.
I
That's
mean,
dignified.
I'm rotating in my head the idea of like X-raying stuff in 1905, and I figure you just bring a big radiation source right into the building and just give everybody a new type of cancer.
Yes. So I fucked that up the first time. I was just hitting it repeatedly like a monkey.
I'm trying to visualize this thing that you're describing.
You get nothing. Rin, could you bring me a Diet Coke if you're over there? I can't see you. I'm just staring off at the stage lens like an asshole. Thank you.
can I get a Narragansett?
You also get. You know, it's funny. This laptop isn't actually doing anything, but I thought about just playing chess while you were all trying to enjoy an episode.
Just open up the Latro, for like.
Someone was playing Civ yesterday at the show. Which, if that's you, send a DM to the podcast Twitter. I want to meet you.
Cultivating the level of autism in our audience. Like, the tables in front is playing a really Grandeur type war game. If it requires like 8 hours of play just on their table in front of us while we talk.
So,
I want to see some of you people trying to run through a game of like a distant plane counterinsurgency in Afghanistan.
Yep. That's a normal thing to want and do during a podcast show. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead, Roz. I'm sorry for interrupting. I'm not. I'm lying.
Losing one of the like hundreds of little like cubes down the back of one of the chairs and just being like, sorry.
yeah, they already explained why that was.
Yeah, so we can't throw it at you. They get real mad at us.
Yeah. So, anyway, the point here is essentially there's no way to inspect these boilers in certain locations. You have to rely on all the manufacturing, all the metallurgy, everything just being good enough that it won't fail at these particular weak points that you can never look at. Yeah.
Cool. Being a boiler engineer seems like a test of faith.
Exactly. So that's why every once in a while you ought to buy a new boiler, which R.B. Grover did. So, but sometimes, yep, folks, we're gonna do some math. Yeah, and I can tell which of you went to MIT right now. So,
I like how you've highlighted the word dunk on your notes.
these boilers, they accumulate debris and gunk after they've run for a long time, right? That's because the water enters them as water, but it leaves as steam. And steam doesn't really carry gunk that well. The water does. So you got to clean them occasionally, right? A quick and easy way to do this is called a blowdown. Essentially, you just build up a really big head of steam and you vent it all at once, and the pressure drives everything out.
It drives the boys wild, Roz.
Yes.
Makes you really popular with your neighbors, I imagine, if you're just venting all of the disgusting shit that was in your boiler onto the chimney.
Oh yeah, it just creates a huge plume of steam that just goes everywhere. It's great.
Give that old Nancy Reagan sloppy, yeah.
An Inside Man with Denzel Washington.
That movie fucks. I like that movie.
Yes, that's a great movie. You should listen to the Game of Thrones one episode about it.
Things.
Occasionally, though, the blowdown is not enough. You have to get in and scrub the thing. And that requires you to shut down the whole boiler and wait for it to cool down and then go in and actually scrub the thing clean, right? So, on March 20th, 1905, the new boiler was scheduled for cleaning. As such, they shut it down. David Rockwell was forced to bring the old boiler online. The old boiler had not been run all winter, but had been inspected and given a clean bill of health in December. Nevertheless, again, Rockwell took no chances. He let it warm up slowly. He kept the water level high. He kept the pressure low, about 80 pounds per square inch.
They're calling him Mr. Does Everything Right. Like, I'm not seeing anything here that's, really facilitating my classic strategy here on this, sensitive podcast that we do of blame the person who is shortly to be killed.
Yes, I mean, this guy has a lot of incentives to do everything right, not the least of which is that his own house is in the firing line if this thing went off. So,
well, how much do you like your house?
Yes, ask Liam how he got house, which is the Patreon. Thank you, patrons. And also this shit, which thank you. Why you ask us? Let's go on.
So, if you yourself go and research this incident later, because you're interested in it, you will find some sources that say the maximum pressure of this old boiler was 60,000 psi, which is about 6 times the pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
We used to build things in this country.
So as best as I can tell, they're misinterpreting what the yield stress of the steel is. If you you look at an actual chart that I neglected to put in here. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's figure this
Our
out.
show, it will not.
Let's figure this out with the hoop stress equation. This is point at the.
Real competency hours. Who up?
You can't have that problem with the physical point. Okay, this is a 6-foot diameter boiler that's 72 inches, right? So your radius is 3 feet or 36 inches. I did that all in my head. Yeah.
That Drexel engineering degree really paying dividends.
Well, yeah, exactly. I can do arithmetic.
2 math-related degrees between us if we still do this shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pressurized to 80 pounds per square inch, right? That's your pressure, your big P here, right? Somewhere between 3/8 and 7/10 of an inch of thickness. Taken at its least generous, 80 psi times 36 inches is 2,800 pounds, or 2,880 pounds per inch, and 2,880 pounds per inch divided by 3/8 of an inch is 7,680 psi. That's right, I can still do dimensional analysis too. So this should be well within the factor of safety for this boiler. And safety factor of anything but the absolute most damaged boiler, where there's just some severe but invisible defect somewhere on there.
And this boiler was checked not 3 months earlier. So, what are the odds that would be foreshadowing?
Yeah, this boiler was 3 days from retirement.
Just when I think about that, pull me back in and kill 80 people, yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, as we've established, based on actual inspections that actually occurred and were performed to the best abilities of the inspectors, this boiler was fine. There was nothing that seemed particularly wrong with it. It was just old.
Thus.
So around 7:45 in the morning, the 400 or so,
When it's a time.
It's a specific time.
the 400 or so workers started filing into the factory. One of the managers noticed that the radiators were making a strange sound.
Yeah, it sounded like the sort of tormented souls in it.
Yes.
Clang, clang,
I
clang.
could have sworn I heard like World War I artillery fire.
You guys play Doom Eternal, right? It sounds like that.
It's impressive that they heard World War I artillery fire, considering it was 1905 and that hadn't happened yet.
Russo-Japanese War, artillery fire, that, whatever, man.
Space temperately.
Anyway, so the radiators are making strange sounds, not the normal strange sounds that radiators make. If you have a steam radiator system, you know that. So he telephones the boiler room, and an assistant answers the phone and says, well, Rockwell just stepped out, I think to talk to his wife, whose house was across the fence.
Just stepping out, leaning across the white picket fence, talks to my wife and be like, and it's our house, don't use. Don't you ever just wish that something would completely obliterate our home?
So anyway, he finishes talking to his wife, and the assistant, he hung up the phone after saying, everything is fine. Rockwell steps back into the boiler room, and the boiler immediately exploded.
Imagine being this to its wife, by the way. Like, you've just, like, your husband has come out from work next door to, like, say hi to you, and you're like, I'm making some, like, vintage 1890s cooking. I'm slowly boiling down an entire ox in here. I'll see you once you get back. I'm really excited to maybe get the right to vote. It goes, cool, see you later. Absolutely no on the voting thing, by the way. Building explode. You would think you did that with your mind. For anything? I guarantee you the rest of her life that woman thought she was a witch.
Okay, so now we have to talk about the trajectory of the exploded boiler.
That's right. You're all gonna die. Not you, literally. Well, at some point, you're all gonna die.
Don't remind them of that. You want them thinking they can live forever so they keep the Patreons up.
That is true. I need to buy this house.
So the boiler causes a massive steam explosion. It launches itself into the air. The first thing it hits is the building's water tower.
There goes the sprinkler system and that system.
Yeah, the sprinkler system doesn't work so well if you use all the water at once at the start of the fire.
This is a very fast delivering sprinkler system. You can consume all the water in the tank in like milliseconds.
The water tower fell through all 4 floors of the factory and caused a cascading collapse of the northern wing. The explosion also then knocked down a shed containing barrels of naphtha. That's what we would now probably call, at least at a consumer level, that's white gas or camp fuel or just lighter fluid, really. It's what you put in a Zippo.
See it arcing towards the lighter fluid storage.
It's 1905.
It had something to do with making shoes. I don't know. I'm not a shoe expert.
Heat the leather to edible temperatures.
See why they built the firehouse here.
So the boiler then continued to hurtle through the air in a ballistic trajectory through Rockwell's house's attic.
Fuck this guy specifically.
Firing a large kind of mortar at your house.
It came to a rest poking halfway through the Hood house next door. David Rockwell himself was instantly vaporized. But his family and his neighbors were, at least for the moment, fine.
Some minor psychic damage.
Just a little bit of psychic damage.
Good thing it's 1905 and therapy has been invented.
Okay, so the collapsed section of the factory immediately catches fire by the fire from the boiler house and the naphtha and leaking gas pipes and everything else you can imagine. Heavy timbers pinned down men and women alike because this was a relatively integrated factory. There was some shoemaking work that was men's work and some that was women's work, right? Okay, so it's still gendered, but everyone's working in the same building at least, which is miles ahead of other things in 1905. Anyway, so but they all get trapped in the flaming debris anyway.
Well, at least I didn't make my escape over this floor covered in linseed oil.
Oh yeah, that all caught fire immediately as well. It really accelerated the spread of the flames to the uncollapsed southern wing of the building.
Okay.
And of course, the sprinkler system was completely useless because the water tower had been knocked over. And it was in pieces on the ground, and the water tower was in fact now on fire as well.
That's ideal for a thing with water in its name, frankly.
Yes. So the Brockton
Why are
Fire
you doing
Company-
this, Jay? Why are you doing this, Jay?
Brockton Fire Company number 2 covers the 90 feet to the factory in seconds because that's how long it takes to go 90 feet. They can already see this is a hell of a conflagration, right? All the windows in the factory have been blown out, causing the whole building to act as a chimney.
Every single mismatched window.
You have people that are pinned under beams, they're tangled in machinery, they've been maimed in unspeakable ways, and they're on fire.
I mean, I knew the boiler would take its revenge, but like, this is grisly stuff.
And this is a disproportionate response by the boiler, I feel like, yeah.
Excessive use of boiler force.
Yeah.
The boiler turned off its, what's that called? Body cam, there we go.
Yeah, the boiler is set to be tried by the ICC.
Just boil off. Scare.
So the fire company carries out some rescues in the first minutes, including one fireman who didn't even don protective gear. He just ran into the building, chopped down an iron gate with an axe, and freed like a dozen men. And the Reverend James A. O'Rourke from the St. Margaret's Catholic Church across the street just ran into the building and started saving people like over and over again. I guess somehow protected by God.
They don't let you do this with a fire anymore. Like they try and stop you from going in and just grabbing people because you're dying. But you know, this guy knew better, and he was right to do it.
He was on a mission from God. But pretty soon the fire was so big that entering the building was literally a suicide mission, right?
Yeah.
The fire chief ordered everyone out of the building, and they started just trying to contain the fire from spreading to other buildings.
This goes poorly.
Again, there's not much water to be had, and this is a huge fire. So the other side of the street catches fire.
Incredible.
You know.
Robert Moses speed run, any percent.
Now, maybe one thing of note here is you can see up at the top GW and Augustus Peterson's houses.
They're up there somewhere. I can't read the slide, so you're gonna have to just be fully.
Yeah, that
Thank you.
street is G.O. Peterson, G.W. Peterson, and Augustus Peterson, like that one scene from Blazing Saddles. Just authentic
Thank you.
Massachusetts gibberish.
That was the best $30 I've ever spent.
Do you want help? Do you want help?
Yeah.
Hey, and ask you. I love you so much. You're very pretty. Like,
I'd be so glad if I had dropped captains this week that we were on a sprint holiday.
You know again.
I'm just gonna assume that whatever you guys are doing is something good. I'm just gonna take a shell. Good.
You should just be able to buy a longer pointer.
you have a laser. You have a laser like this. It goes like that, and then you can just do that. Man,
You might blind yourself with it.
I honest to God, I hope I do. I'll just be my dad.
Plenty of people did manage to escape, though, especially from the part of the building that didn't immediately collapse. For instance, a man named Joseph Jones was working in the stitching room when the explosion occurred. He escaped the building with only a few scratches and was suddenly seized by a strange mood.
Oh no.
That kind of mood.
Yes.
You're ready for what comes next, I guarantee.
When you continue to desire to make shoes.
We've all been there.
Yes, so he...
We've all watched our friends go up like fucking chimneys, then gone to the other factory.
Look up from the workbench, just like see, like here's the whole conflagration. Is like, oh, that's the engineer shooting the boiler at his house and killing a bunch of my friends. I gotta get these shoes stitched.
So he simply walked across town, applied for work at a different shoe factory, and I quote, in a mechanical sort of way, finished his shift.
Understandably, one might say.
Maybe it wasn't so good. I'm thinking about this sort of modern culture again. Being like, well, if you know, like this shoe would burn down, there are others.
What are the odds? He returned home that night to find his family was already grief-stricken and beginning to prepare the funeral.
Built different.
Yeah, people were built different back then.
It's not just looking at this shoe and I'm like the craft school.
Which to the fact was Joseph will make that fight.
Anyway, here's the boiler.
That's good for it.
Oh,
The house with damage at the top was Rockwell's house where the boiler went through. And the house with the damage at the bottom was the Hood house where the boiler came to rest. You can see that because the boiler is there.
so he just like took a corner off his own house, and what I imagine was the like metal pipe landing on concrete floor sound effect. That's next door to him.
Is that false action?
So, all things told, here's the aftermath. The only thing left of the factory is the chimneys. You can see Augustus Peterson's house is mostly fine. Somehow his was spared. It was said the fire was so intense the adjacent buildings were still warm to the touch 2 days later. The search for bodies was, of course, very difficult because there wasn't very much left. We're talking like bone fragments and little bits of cloth and that nasty business. About 58 people were dead, over 150 injured, but hey, around 100 people escaped the building unharmed as well.
Yeah, that's it.
United 2-3-2 ratios,
They
yes.
got jobs doing the same thing across town.
Yeah.
That day.
The Leather Workers Union immediately pooled its resources to provide funds for injured workers and compensation for families of the deceased, right? We're talking about...
You wish that.
Yeah.
Hold on to that thought.
Oh, we're talking...
No, it's fine, but wait for the number.
Well, we're talking a whopping $5 a week and a $100 lump sum for the injured and the deceased, respectively.
$5 a week is still equivalent to probably
This
like
is
6
like
Xboxes.
hoop and stick numbers, like a cup and ball, you know, something like that, you know.
You could buy a bunch of dime knobs.
What?
You know, like
So these people need to go back and get a shitload of dimes.
yeah. So the city of Brockton comes together to create the Brockton Relief Fund to ultimately distribute $105,000 to the victims and the families of the victims. But you know, okay, this is a horrible disaster that seemingly came out of nowhere. Who's to blame here?
Well, not
The guy who did everything right.
Who, despite having sort of vaporized part of his own house and himself, seems to have been doing everything right.
That is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I guess the obvious one you blame is those bastard boiler insurers in Hartford.
You're going to level Connecticut to the ground. That's right. Fuck you, Dad. That's Bronze's grandma. Sorry.
What?
Look, your grandma who lived in Connecticut but doesn't anymore.
Oh, yes. Anyway. That's too parasocial even for a live show.
Sorry, man.
Fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, we never quite positively find out what caused this explosion, right? The leading theory was there was a microscopic defect, completely undetectable by the technology of the time, in one of the unseeable areas of one of the lap joints, and this crack just expanded over time until it failed catastrophically, which lobbed the boiler through a water tower and 2 houses, right? Rockwell's assistant, who survived the explosion, testified, all the gauges seemed normal, the pressure seemed normal, the boiler wasn't doing anything it didn't usually do.
I'm struck by like the assistant surviving, the assistant who was just on the phone being like, yeah, he just walked back in from talking to his wife. Were they like talking to his wife on shifts? Like
That could be the case.
One out system.
Had to go out and relay some information, you know?
So like running them back, just like a team of 4 guys being like, can I have salmon for lunch? Can I have salmon for lunch? Can I have salmon for lunch?
Oh, they're doing the people's mic, yeah.
We've done a callback.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
Inspections of the gauges.
Let's get the side.
Inspections of the gauges also confirmed this. Rockwell's wife testified that Rockwell had been complaining about being asked to make the boiler perform at higher pressures, but there was no evidence to suggest that he actually did that. And this is, you know, sort of capping off a long trend. Boiler explosions became much more common in the 1890s because boiler technology improved, but people weren't replacing their boilers with improved technology. They were just running their old boilers harder. So this private regulator, the Hartford Steam Boiler Inspection and Insurance Company, had popped up, and this was initially, you know, focused on making boilers safer, but it was also partially responsible for the operation of all these boilers and the inspection of most stationary boilers in New England and in fact the entire United States. And it became clear that, oh, maybe the private regulator has some conflicts of interest.
Just yeah, maybe.
Who thought?
So, you know, you're gonna accept some amount of failures of boilers as part of the cost of doing business.
You're
Right.
accidentally going to turn a steam locomotive into vaporize an entire battery with it.
Exactly. So the result of this is, after a lot of haranguing, which is too long to get into on a live show, and another huge explosion in Lynn,
Or you never go out the same way you came in. I know that rhyme too.
the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, which had itself formed 25 years earlier in response to boiler explosions, managed to overcome the private interests and convince the Massachusetts legislature to pass an act relating to the operation and inspection of steam boilers in 1907, and this provided for extremely strict oversight of boiler construction and operation and maintenance by the Commonwealth directly, you know, instead of some profit-motivated insurers in Hartford, right? And this legislation becomes the model for boiler regulations across the country and is in fact still the backbone of boiler regulation to this day. If Trump hasn't managed to repeal those codes by the time of the show, of course, which seems to have not happened yet. You give it a few weeks.
Getting vaporized in a boiler explosion and walking across town to go and join another podcast live show.
Friday in New York, we're on at the same time as Crime Junkie.
Okay, perfect. Just make the leap, you know? Go straight from true crime social murder to true crime, like, normal kind of
Hey,
murder.
what's up, Spook? What's up, Spook Muffins? We got another one for you today. That's right, baby.
So spooky, don't get socially murdered.
Captain Robbins Grover left the industry entirely. He was determined to make things right. In fact, he spent the rest of his life trying to get the victims of the disaster adequate compensation for their injuries. The R.B. Grover Shoe Company was liquidated. Its assets were assigned to their creditors. The Emerson shoe was no more.
Okay, so a couple of apologies for the terror there.
Just like kind of half-hearted though, right? Like you gotta be like, all right, man, sorry, as you just like yell over a ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My bad.
Oops. Only the good boiler explode young. Yeah.
We got there eventually.
Yeah, exactly. What's left today? There's like a parking lot. The firehouse is still there. St. Margaret's is still there. It's now a Haitian church. And hey, GW and Augustus Peterson's houses are still there. Yeah. Still one piece of old Brockton left.
Like having bought one of these.
And the Hartford Steam Boiler Inspection and Insurance Company still exists today. They still insure and inspect boilers as well as other industrial equipment. But the main force of the regulation today is just that, it's regulation, right? Strong state.
So public regulation didn't even put the private regulators out of business.
Oh, no. Well, you still got stuff like Underwriters Labs, which just became a for-profit company a few years ago, and is now traded on the stock exchange. So, you know, pay attention to your extension cords, folks.
Don't be my wife's mom. Yeah.
But yeah, the
I don't know where she is. I can't see shit up here.
but yeah, so the main force of regulation today is just that, regulation. But that's for now. Watch this space for more exciting, catastrophic boiler explosions in the future.
Bunch of 19-year-olds with the broccoli haircut are going to decide that, like, not dying in a boiler explosion is woke and, like...
Yes.
Hi, sweetie. Keep it bussin' for real as 58 people die.
You know, it is the only thing keeping the boilers together is a thick coating of DEI on the side.
That's just keeping the planes up there too, man.
Checking to see if my boiler has pronouns before.
So, what did we learn?
Well, don't trust private regulation for anything, for one thing.
Oh yeah.
Make no apologies for the terror. But definitely, like, a couple of apologies if you feel really bad, but, like, you know. And maybe have more than one fire escape and don't have the sprinkler system running from a tank directly in the path of your boiler explosion.
Yeah, don't soak it down in oil is probably.
Yeah. No, don't soak your entire building in oil, folks. I think that's pretty good one. Yeah.
But it smells nice. God.
Wrapped up. That's low fair cat.
Well, we have a segment on this podcast called Safety Third.
Make some noise.
Yeah, it's we're doing our best here.
Yeah. So, Safety Third. My story today comes from the wonderful and lucrative world of craft IPAs.
Jay, I can see you doing that, man.
And badly maintained scissor lifts. When you brew an IPA, it requires a serious amount of dry hop pellets added to an already fermented beer.
Yeah, you have to achieve the classic IPA bad taste.
I am so... No, I'm not happy you're not here, but it would be funny if you and I got into a fist fight over how good beer tastes.
I did choose the Narragansett for a reason.
Have a Gansett, folks. The IPA they have here is pretty good, though.
Yeah. Back to more like, no such thing. An IPA is a beer designed to travel well, not to drink well.
It's wrong. You know who can't travel well, Nova? It's you. Sorry, I love you.
She's
I'd make it way worse.
I can't believe you burned her so bad she walked to another podcast.
Try getting this.
Mechanically finishing her shift at the podcasting mines.
Day of my life.
The high surface area of the hops, plus the natural carbonation of the beer, creates a physical reaction and results in a baking soda volcano-style situation, which I would usually just refer to as a volcano-type situation. That's two references in one. Anyway, this rapidly releases large amounts of CO2, and CO2 is great at three things: making drinks bubbly, blocking out oxygen, and rapidly killing brain cells when inhaled.
So that on.
Enter my brewing partner, Scotty. Scotty's job was to add 240 kilograms of dry hops into a fermenter filled with 30,000 liters of IPA. To add the 500 pounds of hops, which is the same as previous but a different unit.
Yeah, keep it consistent with your Brian to safety third, assholes.
I demand everything in inch-pound seconds.
This is an American podcast. 2/3 of us are American. She doesn't get a say.
I studied engineering, not physics. Don't use Kelvin, I demand Rankine. Give me some British thermal units, come on.
From work Euro units, we might be able to get some money out of like the European Union Fund for Podcasting or something like that.
To add the hops, Scotty needed to take the scissor lift to the manway on the top of the tank. Now, CO2 is much heavier than regular air, and when released, it drops quickly. So to avoid choking to death, the best practice is to have the open manway somewhere between your belt and your nipples.
I've done that before.
Thanks to the brewery's overhead piping, it says pipping here.
Don't say Pepe.
I'm gonna assume they mean piping. At best, this manway was level with your eyebrows. So Scotty was adding hops somewhere around his forehead level when the fermenter started to volcano, which I didn't know could be a verb, and CO2 and foam started pouring directly onto him. With
Yeah,
no
like 50,000 nanosecond dive of epic IPA. So,
with no breathable air. With no breathable air around him, Scotty made the good decision to lower the forklift and get the hell out of there. About 6 feet down, as carbon dioxide was cascading directly on top of him, the scissor lift control box disconnected due to a loose plug, and it stopped the lift.
The board.
Yes. So, with no oxygen in your lungs, shouting really isn't an option.
Either.
So, thankfully, a packager saw Scotty still 20 feet in the air, choking and sputtering, and they shouted for help. I ran over and was able to use the emergency lower on the lift. Scotty walked away dazed and out of breath, but okay.
that being like Man, I'm really into IPAs now.
So the lesson of the story, burp your fermenters. And always take pre-use scissor lift checks seriously.
Yes.
Cheers from Zach.
About
Yeah. That was safety third.
in the own like noise before you even finish the thing. My bad.
Like this, baby.
Say, let's.
All right. Our next episode will be on Chernobyl. Does anyone have any commercials before we go?
Well, I mean, since it is the month of Playpro, you should listen to Punta Vista.
Yes, it's the last day we can recommend it. Then we go back to normal. Okay. So I guess, do we have time for Q&A?
Do we have time? Well, yeah, real quick, I want to, before we do Q&A, signings, etc., if you're here tomorrow, we are going to be at Aeronaut from 5 to 6 p.m. So we're probably going to do a meet and greet there, but we're going to have time for a few Q&A questions, if that's all right with everybody. But before we do that, A, I have to piss, and B, and I'm talking, and B, I just wanted to thank every one of you for coming. I wanted to thank every one of you who's a member of the Patreon. I wanted to thank every one of you who's bought merch. And I especially wanted to shout out, because I get to do this, Erica Hecht, who is sitting, hello, who is sitting in the front row, and her brother is marrying my sister-in-law. So let's all annoy the fuck out of Erica and clap directly at her. I think we got that on video. I don't know. I just wanted to annoy you. Hi, Erica. All right, I'm gonna go pee. We'll do Q&A. We can do that. All right. So formed orderly line next to Scooter here. I'm gonna piss and be right back.
Yes, if you have questions, we're going to take them in order. First come, first served, over at the extra microphone we have set up, because we thought to do this in an orderly fashion today, because we didn't know how to do it yesterday.
God, I hope this works. I hope it works this time. If you have anything you want me to sign, get Liam to fake my signature. If you have anything for me, just give it to him, he'll get it to me. Does not include assassination attempts, bombs, things of this nature.
This is exciting for me. Usually I'm the one that has to go use the restroom.
Congratulations on relinquishing the title belt for the smallest flat like a podcast.
Well, let's get film now. I do everything.
Oh, another thing, if any of you start with, I have more of a comment than a question,
You still have
reformat it as a question, please.
There's a directly to the eye, so you know.
Yeah, that red dot might not be a laser pointer.
Let's go to tell you thank you, Dad. This thing,
What?
it's fast.
Jay is telling me to vamp. I don't know what that is.
That means you gotta get a little bit like cunty and bisexual with it. So
I thought it was something like that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have to fill a bunch of time. Okay, wait, hold on. I see Liam coming back. He's walking over slowly to the stage. Now he stopped. Now he's sort of shuffling forward.
you know, like banner drop scout the ceiling just says this idiot had to piss. Then we get into public shaming.
The dirt, the shutter, singles, on the air behind.
Now he's gone through the curtain and is swearing.
Y'all swear? Yeah.
This is important journalism we're doing here. This is real like live commentary, you know. I just wanted, while we're vamping, I wanted to say thank you to everyone for coming out as well. It's just the fucking the border, the president, something.
Work that down.
All right, we good? You want to start? All right, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, I managed to get through that without committing any like federal crimes in what I said or did, so I think we're good.
We can get away with like a few.
Well, yeah, I did that.
I mean, to have the design.
So,
Justin, you've mentioned before in so many words that you think cable-stayed bridges are mid. I don't know about engineering. I just want to hear more on this.
Cable-stayed bridges, I understand they have their uses. I just don't think they look as good as suspension bridges. That's purely an opinion. I do think they are, to some extent, mid.
Not racist, you just don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
They make my community less attractive.
We have to return to Big Stone Arch
no,
Bridge.
we don't. Okay. I also want to shout out because I got a very angry text from my wife. Yes, thank you for selling the merch. Thank you for all your support on this tour. I love you very dearly. That's not the point.
Michael, shut up, man. What? Hi, Glenn.
She is not helping me sell merch though. So in the kind of relative white rankings that I assume all of you keep,
What's up? I'm the yachting twink from the Philadelphia refinery episode. Liam, I want to know, you just joined the Catholic Church. What's your confirmation name?
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten there yet.
Aw, damn.
But it will be Francis, presumably.
Good one.
Sick.
I was hoping for some uncensored, actionable threats.
Oh, I'm getting.
You want us to come up on stage and just say in front of God and everyone and our crew who's recording this episode,
Can you believe this?
to say, I am going to kill the President of the United States. That is not something I would say.
Yes. What? Well, it's not. So my favorite thing.
I think we killed Jay,
Yeah.
which is not the person
It's not that it's always an actual threat. It's just saying I hope it goes up like the Fuhrer bunker, right? I get creative. Oh, salty snail.
It's not illegal to hope someone dies.
I have Pete Rose's dead ass bitch of existence. I think we said on 10,000 Losses that we hoped we had to bleep it because one of our guests was like, I hope they freeze his dick off with liquid nitrogen and then smash it with a ball peen hammer, which had to get censored. And then Tom yelled at me, What? He's dead. He's dead. I don't care. He's dead and he sucked and he was a pedophile.
All right, doing great here. Again, the Washington, D.C. show is going to be interesting now.
All lanyards. It's all ATF, which would be a convenience store.
Hey, can I get a take on the MBTA Green Line? How much of a disaster y'all think it is? I am an operator. So I'd like to hear your honest opinion.
Wait,
You're welcome.
can you say that? We totally missed that.
I'm an operator on the MBTA Green Line. I want your honest opinion about that engineering disaster.
The Green Line. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion. I am gonna be honest.
Why can I walk faster than the Green Line? I live in Philly, a city which has 2 subway lines, both of which are hell.
About the president, and it's only a federal offense to threaten one of them.
For your question,
Wait, probably both.
to answer that question, got an hour?
Oh, God. We'll get there.
Hello. So recently we lost our beautiful old Orange Line cars that were covered in some beautiful 70s wood paneling. Do you think that we should bring that back for all other new subway cars?
Not just subway cars. Every surface should be
Every
wood
surface paneled in wood, yes.
Unless you just look at the whole closing argument of.
We're bringing back the wooden toilet seat too.
Personally,
I received the chain flush, the stone arch bridge. This is what did you think in return for the VE men?
no one's into oil soaking down my toilet seats.
No, they should have wood paneled video game consoles again. It's not that.
Yo, my Atari 2600 that gives me splitters every time I load a cartridge. Fucks.
Yeah, you should be able to get a PlayStation that just has made it some nice walnut, you know?
Wholeheartedly agree. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hi, my question is for Roz. When's Franklin?
You people are coordinating, aren't you?
Never.
When City Skylines 2 is good.
Yeah, take it up with Colossal Order.
Yes.
I would like to know your real animosity towards the Boston molasses disaster.
I didn't hear the question.
Yeah, go again.
I would like to know your real animosity to the Boston molasses disaster.
My animosity, well, disasters are bad.
Do you guys know we covered it, right?
Yeah.
Molasses over here?
Well aware.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like there are disasters, like, to give you a long-winded and shitty explanation to your weird question, we have disasters that I want to cover. So, like, I have been writing Katrina for 3 years, but I'm afraid of shut up. I'm afraid of fucking it up. And I got a very kind DM from Spencer Hall who was like, if you fuck this up, you can't afford to fuck Katrina up. It makes me so sad thinking about it, which has paralyzed me from writing the rest of it. So it's not animosity, like, on a timeline long enough, we'll get to everything. You're just, like, real slow.
Thank you.
Hi. Sorry. I was just curious, what's a disaster that one or all of you would like to cover, but you haven't been able to find like an expert in that, like something you all don't know about, and would need somebody else to help cover?
Nova has said there's that South Korean ferry whose name escapes me that killed, what, like 1,000 people?
Yeah.
We want a local expert.
Like a Korean guest for that, and it's been on my list again for years, and then I complete tasks, and I never quite complete enough tasks to actually like go out and find someone for that. So one day, inshallah.
Yeah,
That's a mood,
Everything
Nova.
about airplanes confuses me.
Yeah. Cut it off. Thank you. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Who's the greatest right-handed hitter of all time?
Say again?
Who is the greatest right-handed hitter in baseball of all time?
Okay, here's the fucking answer for the greatest hitter. And it doesn't matter, right? Because it's I'm gonna fuck up his name. I have never gotten it right in my life. The true hit king is Ichiro, right? It's Ichiro. Here's the thing with Ichiro. I love a man that learned to speak Spanish specifically so he could talk shit to Dominicans. That is the funniest fucking thing I can conceive of. He learned, if you don't know that story is true, he learned Spanish so he could like call, I forget who it was, just like, your mom's a bitch, and then learned like 40 insults entirely in Spanish, learned to speak it fluently to shit talk Dominicans. Baseball is, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Listen to 10,000 Losses. Thank you. All right. Yes.
Hello, my question is for November, who we dearly miss here in the U.S. Care to share any new trinket or hobby fixations that you have had recently?
Yeah, absolutely. So my thing is in a couple of weeks' time after the tour, I'm going to like World War II reenactment Battle of Britain LARP, and so obviously I have gone completely insane purchasing not just like Women's Auxiliary Air Force uniform, but also every conceivable like. I think it's I was done back several times because I have ADHD. So yeah, it's just been all of that. It has been financially ruinous. Thank you so much for your
Financially ruined, yeah, buy a house. All right, we have, that is it for Q&A. I got like 20 minutes to sign shit if you want me to sign shit. I don't know what Ross is doing. I assume he's crying in the green room.
No, I'm probably going to get arrested by the FBI.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not till the end of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're going to
FBI,
have to make
please
a
no
sort of
arrest.
Blues Brothers style escape, maybe.
And my room home is I hang up a Discord call and walk 2 steps to my bedroom with my wife, which is the one positive about this whole situation with the border is I get to do that. But it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you, Somerville, for coming out. This has been Well, There's Your Problem podcast.
Oh,